All right, check 1 2, check 1 2. I think the audio might be okay. Oh boy, I haven't talked at all today, so my throat might be a little bit scratchy. I really should do the the voice warm-ups before stream, but I never do. I never do. Anyway, hey guys, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Hi Regress, hi Tactician Chance. Let's see. Yeah, so we're back with Mahjong today for another for a little bit. Basically, I just want to take a chance today to like just chill and maybe talk about random stuff. So, anyway, let me see. I guess I haven't. Let me see who's available for the games. Let's see. I need to grab the link. I didn't get the link. The link to the game. How's everyone doing, by the way? I always lose track of the days, so I don't know, like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. I just know that it's Mahjong Day, and that's really about it. So, I don't know. The days are running into each other, but for some reason this month has been particularly slow. And I don't know if that's because of the upcoming trip or it's just a slow month in general. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Though I guess I'm not sure this is how it is for most people. If you got a trip planned sometime in the year, everything before that trip seems to go like really fast. And then as it gets closer and closer to the trip, the days start to get longer and longer and longer as you anticipate it and maybe even prepare for it. I don't know. I don't know if that's how it is for most people. That's how it's been for me anyway. But we'll see. First things first though, oh yeah, I forgot to put the message on in the channel. We need 2 people to start. So please let me know if you want to play. Okay, so I'm gonna put that here. And I'm gonna make this also in Twitch. This message in Twitch. Pin that. All right. Normally, if we don't have enough people to start with, I'll just go ahead and enter a ranked match to warm up and chat along the way. But yeah, how's everyone been doing? Anything you want to talk about in particular? This is like open forum basically. Open forum as well as just yapping about whatever. Honestly, I have no idea what to talk about other than other than, well, no, I don't want to talk about the trip. I actually don't want to talk about the trip. Because a trip is like, I'm not quite sure what I want to do with it yet, but even though it's starting in about a week. Except, if I talk about the trip, I feel like that I would have done the trip already. And in my mind, that's like, the trip is done. And I have nothing else to think about anymore. But I don't know if that makes sense for people. Like, talking about things before they've happened, or things that you want to do, on one hand is helpful, but on the other hand, it feels like, oh no, I'm kind of tricking myself into thinking, I already did it. And because I talked about it, I feel like I don't feel like doing it anymore. That's how I am with projects a lot of times. So I try not to talk too much about projects, even though I want to talk about projects that I'm working on. Like, I gotta let someone know about this kind of thing. So But if you guys have any like what do you call it? If you guys have any Japan questions or anything like that, I'm always up to talk about that. Anything you're curious about, anything if you're gonna like go there, what you want to see and do, that kind of thing. Holodori is fun. Yeah, I've seen a lot of Holodori in my timeline, and it does look fun, I guess. The music charts anyway. I don't know. It just feels a little weird though. Seeing the talents in a gacha game using their live 2D models, and the live 2D models. I mean, I guess the personalities in the game are slightly different from what they are in stream. Some of them are similar, but some of them is like, who the heck are you? At least that's also the reaction I've seen from some other people, both talents and random people. Like Crony is not that energetic half the time. The music charts though, I guess I'm not a huge rhythm game person. I've dabbled in it a little bit, but it seemed pretty fun. They seem pretty fun. Was looking over my App Store history in the morning, all the EOS games I used to play. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. All the sauce in the in-game, all the sauce is in the game in-game interaction. So, are they lore accurate? I don't know. I guess from my impression, from what people have said, the personalities in the game, the Holodori game, are similar to what you would see in like a hologra or something like that. That's I think what I've heard. Though there is some funny interactions apparently during music charts when you use certain talents together. That's about all I know. And I don't know how the recording session went, but apparently there were, maybe not all of them, but some of them were in the same room. And, you know, they went into the recording booth, did their lines and stuff, but the introductions are kind of all over the place. Some of them are the introductions you see in streams, others are like very simple. Very simple. I don't know if it's professional, but very simple. I think the cutting quotes between channels are a lot more unhinged, which is good. Yeah, the cutting quotes, I guess skill activations. I don't exactly know. I don't remember. I played a little bit of Love Live before a long time ago, and I think the skill activations are usually depends on what you do in the charts, right? What you do in the charts, sometimes sometimes it's a % chance, but something along those lines. I don't know. I kind of want to try it, but at the same time, I got no real stake in it. You know what I mean? I got no real stake in it. So, maybe I skip. Maybe I skip this one. We'll see. I mean, if I were to play it, I would have to hook up my tablet, possibly, or my phone to the capture card and play it that way, because from what I hear, the PC controls is not really that great. Or too simplified. Probably too simplified. Holy crap, what is up with this room? What is this up with this room? This room is kind of cracked. Then again, whenever you see a bunch of Chinese or Japanese names show up in a Mahjong table in Mahjong Soul, it tends to be a little crazy. I don't know if they're cheating. I don't know if they're doing something else. But it's they seem to be a lot better than the average, I don't know, skill level of the table. Or maybe I'm just bad. Or maybe I'm just bad. I could also just be bad. That's the other thing. But let's see. But yeah, I'm just remember that thing I talked about a long time ago, trying to be like a game dev and stuff. It's been a while since I touched anything related to game dev stuff. Maybe a few months. I tried to like keep to a schedule and stuff, and I just can't think of anything. Can't think of anything to put down and write. So I'm like, oh geez, I need some inspiration. I think I'm getting some inspiration these days, but I don't know what I want to do with it. Game deving is not just coding. It's not just making the scenes. It's also like, what the heck do we want to make? And whenever I see the other indie games come out, I get a little discouraged each time. Because I can't do anything like this. Or at least, or maybe there's some like, this is way above what I want to do, so I probably shouldn't worry about it anyway. But then there's like some really nice pixel art or really nice VN that I see, and I like get slightly discouraged. I don't know, I probably shouldn't. But sometimes do. Now this is probably a terrible hand. That's a terrible hand. But yeah. Anyway, these days I'm just trying to figure out what the heck to make for food and stuff and not have leftovers before the trip. I mean, I guess I can always like freeze leftovers. It just feels a little weird to freeze food for 2 months. But then again, if you do, what do you call this? If you do like meal preps, I guess that's kind of the same thing. That's not terrible. That's actually not terrible. There was a lot of carrying with different things, but that's not a terrible hand. But yeah. Whew. Let's see. Let's get rid of this one. Oh yeah, I guess there's the Blue Archive stream coming this weekend. I'm gonna try to wake up early enough for that. It's gonna be really hard though. I don't think I've ever made it in time for those. The one time I did try to stream, like do a watch along for that thing, I could not stay up enough to get to the relevant portion of the stream. It was like, wait, I thought it was supposed to come up at this time, but no, it's much later. Much later. Oh, speaking of Blue Archive though, did I mention that I was probably going to be in Tokyo when Comiket is happening? Well, more specifically, I'll be landing in Tokyo when Comiket happens, but I'm not sure how Comiket actually works. Because this year I've seen a lot of people buy wristbands, which gets you into Comiket. But I think before, there was a time before where you didn't need to actually do that. You just kind of went in. But I'm assuming that's something they've done because there's a lot more people these days, and they need to keep track of people. Yeah, you just need the catalog. Yeah, that before it was just you need a catalog, right. But now it's actually a wristband thing. Though I think you still also get a catalog with the wristband. I'm not entirely sure if that's actually the case though. But I have seen a lot of wristbands, and I don't know. Even if, okay, let's say I do get to Tokyo in time. I think I would arrive in Tokyo maybe a little bit after 2-ish, 1 or 2-ish, maybe even 12. Let's say earliest 12. I think the selling portion closes by like 12 or 1. And those guys start pretty early, like 8 o'clock to 9 a.m. So there's like a 3 to 4 hour frenzy of buying everything. And by the time I probably get there, they are closed up or closing up. One or the other. One or the other. But I don't even know if they would do like day of passes. If they did day of passes, I could probably see myself like sneaking in there and seeing if I could grab something from certain tables. And the thing is, the day I land is the only day they do the Blue Archive stuff. So they don't do the Blue Archive stuff the next day. So my only interest would be in the first day when they sell all that stuff. It's kind of crazy, actually. So it's I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. Would it be feasible? Is it plausible? And I'm not sure if it is or not. They do sell day of, but it's easier to buy at a comic shop before. Yeah, that's kind of what I figure. But the thing is, I'm not even sure if I'll be able to go there, and I don't even know how much the passes are. I'm assuming the passes are probably no more than 2,000 to 5,000 yen. I don't think they go up to 5,000 yen, but then again, I haven't checked the prices. Holy crap, what is going on? Why am I winning? This hasn't happened in like 300 years. Holy craps! They're not dead. They're not dead, but they're on the brink of dying. I need to see my record because that's my first win in forever. Let me see. What has my wins be? No, we're not doing that. Do we have enough people for a table? I'm just curious. Okay. So my ranked matches have been really, really bad. 4th place, third, 4th. The best I've gotten was 2nd before this win. But it's been mostly 3rd and 4th. And 1 2nd. It's been really, really bad. That's why I don't play Mahjong as much compared to what I used to. Tehepero, Edible, welcome. How's it going? I think we have at least 2 people now. At least we have 2 people now. Okay. Let me get this room started. 4-player, no special modes. East only, 300 seconds. Let's go with that. And here's the link for anyone that wants to join the rooms. So remember, when we do this, no screen sniping. But you can listen. You can listen. Because it's just a regular table. Just no screen sniping. I guess we'll add an AI for now. I don't see anyone else in chat that usually joins. Let me double check. Oh, we do! Delphi, why didn't you say anything? Gosh darn it, the sneaking in there. Suddenly Delphi, yeah. Sneaking in. Sorry, I don't have any Fate skins, so we can't do a Fate table. Can't do a Fate table. Alright. Oh yeah, I haven't done my emotes. Hello! Was watching Gigi play Holodori? You know what? That's fair. That's fair. I think she's doing a 1-hour guerrilla stream of Holodori. I didn't realize she was a pro Sekka player, actually. I mean, when I saw her play yesterday, she was really, really good at at the charts, and it would look like a pretty tough chart. What I didn't realize about that one of not just the one chart of pretty much all the charts that she did, she played everything at 1x speed. So for those who aren't familiar with rhythm games, the higher your speed, the more spaced out the notes are. So it makes it a little bit easier to read. And for me, when I did Love Live, I did like 1.5 to 2x speed, so I can read it. But no, she didn't do that. She didn't do that. She just did 1x, and there was like this whole mess of notes that I couldn't even figure out what order they were supposed to be pressed. And she cleared those pretty easily. I'm like, how the heck, girl? How were you able to read that? I could not. I could not. I will say though, maybe it was a smart thing that they did, making it into like a rhythm game instead of like say an RPG, because by that point you there's gonna be like tier there probably are tier lists at the moment right now, right? For people who don't care about HoloLive, don't know about HoloLive, they find another rhythm game. It's like, okay, here's a tier list of these cards. These cards are trash. Imagine your Oshi being trash. Imagine your Oshi being trash for the niche that she's supposed to be like used in. Like for I don't know what kind of cards there are. There's definitely some HP in recovery. There's HP recovery. There is score bonuses. I don't know what else they do for rhythm games these days, but those are the only ones I really know about. Your Oshi's the lowest tier. Who's your Oshi? Who is your Oshi? I need to know. My Oshi is not playable because she graduated. So that's one less incentive for me. My second, I guess, is the rat. And I guess that's alright. I mean, yeah, too bad Regress. You had to play into that one. I don't know how you would have been able to avoid it. I wasn't even paying too much attention to discard, so... Iris is your lowest. What does Iris even do? I guess it depends on the outfit, right? So the lowest rarity in the roles is the 3-star, and that's their base outfits. And then I guess there's a 4-star and there's a 5-star. And I don't know how they differentiate between the 4-star and 5-star outfits. I'm assuming, and there's a big assumption having not played the game, is that the outfits that you have for the Chibis is from the 5 stars, or are they separate and separate things entirely? They're probably separate, aren't they? I don't know how they did in Prosecco. I did play Prosecco for a little bit. Just a little bit. And I kinda enjoyed it. I didn't really get too much into the story. Though I hear the story got pretty whack. From the 5-star, 5 stars are just outfits and better bonuses. That does make sense. Some 4 stars, okay. Some 4 stars. Yeah. I'm assuming the story is whatever. I'm assuming the story for the game is whatever, but the real gameplay, so to say, other than playing the music charts, is combining talents together and seeing their interactions from their skill activations. I've seen some funny ones. I've seen some funny ones. I don't know. I also feel like I haven't watched a lot of them recently, so I don't know how they are these days compared to how they're portrayed in the game. Oh, jeez. Of course. The undefeated sumo. Ow! 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 Who's dealer? Not me. Oh, you're the dealer! Oh, crap! Ow, I felt that. Ouch. Okay. That is painful. That is painful. Anyway, I might give Holodori a try. I might give Holodori a try. Not on stream though. I don't know if I want to do that on stream, but I'll probably give it a little try. Just to see if I can get back into the rhythm gaming mindset again. We'll see. We'll see. I guess it's not like I'm really getting FOMO from watching everyone play. It is interesting to see everyone's reactions, but I'm not necessarily getting FOMO from it. Which is, you know, the cause for many people trying different things. I am, as far as gacha games are concerned, I'm still waiting for the release of Astra Horatio, and at least we're getting slow drip content. Is content the right word for this? We're getting slow dripped info each week regarding characters and stuff for that. And I do feel like maybe by the end of the year, we'll probably get that game released. On the other hand, very related to Astro Horatio, Project RX. It was weird that they had a booth in AX, and really the only thing you got from that was their names. Finally, name reveal, and just because they had a booth in AX, but otherwise, nothing important. Nothing important, no gameplay, no anything else. Well, I guess we had a little gameplay from the first PV. But other than that, we didn't get anything else. So it's like, alright, that's probably not gonna come out this year. I do not think... I don't think Project RX is gonna get released this year. Maybe next year, question mark? Maybe. No FOMO because I'm bad at rhythm games. That's fair. That's fair. I'm okay with rhythm games. Speaking of rhythm games, there is one rhythm game I've been meaning to play again on stream. Just haven't really gotten around to it. Wow! Wow! Oh my gosh, that is death. Oh, that is death. Oh my gosh, sorry Regress. I'm sorry. It's not my fault, but how? Minus 8,300. It happens. Sometimes you just have a really good game, and it just keeps on rolling and rolling and rolling. Imagine if we actually had like, okay, yeah, imagine if we actually did this in real life. Let's say we had a table in real life, and we were playing for money. I don't know how they normally do it. Is it like per 100 points, per 1,000 points? And you get some amount of money for the difference? But imagine, let's say, every 100 points you have to pay 25 cents. We're talking small. We're talking small, because, I mean, it's just between friends and stuff. 25 cents, but the difference between first place and last place is a minus 8,000. Minus 8,000. Actually, no, even 25 cents. But 70,000? And, crap. 70,000 plus 8,300 divided by 100 times 0.25. Okay, never mind. Even 25 cents, the almost 80,000 point difference between first and last would mean at a rate of 25 cents per 100 points, almost 200 bucks. I don't think we should be gambling. At that point, I don't think we should be gambling. maybe if it was like no, even if you did a 1 cent per 100, that's that would still be a lot. That's almost 2 burgers, probably. These days, it's probably 2 burgers. I haven't eaten out in months, and well, if you don't count when I had to eat out all the time, when I was in Japan, last year, I haven't eaten in the US in months. And even when I had a job, I barely ate out. Because holy crap, the prices in restaurants for anything is ridiculous. It used to be a lot more affordable, like maybe 10, 20 years ago. Well, maybe not 20 years. Well, 20 years ago, that's a given. But let's say even 10 years ago. Pre-COVID, definitely. But these days, it's like almost minimum 15 to 20 bucks per meal. And don't tell anyone I do this, but I am not a very good tipper. If I tip to the nearest dollar. Let's say that's the most I usually tip, because I am a freaking cheapskate. Especially when they kind of force that system on people. It's like I'm not a very good tipper. I don't know. Imagine tipping. I know, right? Welcome, Bamboo. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, I don't know. We need to get rid of tipping in the US. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we need to get rid of tipping in the US. It's not good. The way it is right now, it's not good because it's expected. That's the worst part. Tipping should be like a little bonus. It shouldn't be your salary. But there's too many places that basically make it your salary. And I don't agree with that whatsoever. Whatever. I mean, at least that gives me the chance to cook at home and learn some cooking skills. That's probably the flip side of not going out to eat at like for anything. Oh, please tell me that's not me. Oh, oh crap, that's me. That's me. I was hoping that wasn't what you were waiting for. Crap. You worked in restaurants? Let's see. I think I worked in a deli shop for maybe 1 or 2 weeks when I was in high school as a delivery driver. And I don't think I ever got a tip for that short amount of time while doing deliveries ever. So I mean, then again, it was a different time when at that time. It was more like still kind of optional. People didn't feel as compelled to do it back then, though for some reason it's more ingrained these days, and I absolutely hate it. I feel like in Asian restaurants anyway, at least those run by like Chinese or Vietnamese people, they don't typically care if you tip or not. I feel like they don't, but they'll try to guilt you into it anyway because everyone else does it. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know how it works in California. When I was in Texas anyway, that it felt like that was the case. It felt like that was the case. But yeah, I mean, I do it ever so often, but it's like still I round to the dollar, or at least give them whatever change I had. But that's it. I don't do like 10%, 20%, nothing like that. No, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Why would I do that? No, too expensive. Way too expensive. On the other hand, how much more expensive would the food be actually if we just got rid of tipping and actually just gave them minimum wage? How much more expensive would the food actually be? I think, I mean, you can still hire everyone part-time. You don't have to pay for health insurance and whatnot, because I know that drives up the cost by a lot. But even if you just hire everyone part-time, I mean, how much more would it cost? You probably can't hire as many people, but I don't know. To be honest, the restaurants here pay minimum wage and tips are on top of that. Wow. Delivery is weird, especially with all the food apps. A lot of states have fixed that stuff to some extent. What do you mean a lot of states have fixed that stuff to some extent? What do you call this? The wage situation? But even if they up the minimum wage for food people, they still kind of expect the, what do you call this? Oh, servers. Minimum wage for servers. They still kind of expect tips on top of it because they're so used to it. Some states do it, some states don't. I see. I'm still against it though. I'm still against it. That might sound very un-American of me. But that's just fact. It shouldn't be a thing. It really shouldn't be a thing. Have you heard the story though, when the World Cup was going on? That a lot of people from other countries that were visiting from the World Cup, when they ate out, they never tipped, and a lot of restaurants got really pissed off about that. So they added like automatic tips on their bill, just so they can get some money extra money out of them. I thought that was dirty. They shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done that. They should have just like changed the system instead, but they didn't. I'm trying to get my money back. I'm trying to get my money back, Edible. That 2,000 was barely anything to the 12,000 you took from me. Barely. Ah, jeez. I didn't realize the World Cup was that long. Like, how many countries actually participate in the World Cup? And then it's like, it took like weeks, right? I think like at least 8 weeks, maybe more. So, grateful where I'm from, food is relatively cheap. Yeah, in most other places in the world. Minus Canada and minus the US especially. Food is relatively cheap. Sure, it's going to be a little bit more expensive than what you could make at home, but if you wanted to eat out, you could eat out and not like break the bank. That's how it should be, I feel. It should be like that, but for some reason it's not. At least here. At least in the US. Though I think there's a few culprits from that. I haven't looked into any of this. I'm just basically basing everything on my gut instinct. But maybe the main culprit of that is like rent on the properties. That's always a possibility. I don't know what insurances do, but that's also probably another reason why things are so expensive. But then, even after all of that, I don't know. Would it really drive the food? Would it really drive the price that high? I feel like it probably might, and that doesn't help. Also, ingredient prices ridiculous, especially for beef. I don't know what happened here. It's insane. It's not like we have a food shortage. Yeah, it's not the food shortage. It's something else. Endless pile of middlemen, and if you wanted to, let's say, make a business from your home, you cannot do that because zoning laws. Zoning laws prevent you. Okay, I got my 12,000 back. Not from edible, but I got my 12,000 back, so I guess I'll take it. I'm back to where I was. I just need to... Delphi, what? Delphi, what? Why? Why the shuffle? Oh, jeez. World Cup, this one went from 32 to 48 teams to... So probably contributed to the length. Ah, I see. Thank you, Zero Sanity. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know anything about the World Cup. Do I know anything about soccer? Kind of, sort of, I know things about soccer. Didn't feel like the 13 Orphans? Fair enough. Fair enough. I think the one time I actually saw a sporting event live was maybe the Rugby World Cup, or... Yeah, I think it was a Rugby World Cup back in 2019 in Japan. It was the most random thing. Why did they do the Rugby World Cup in Japan? But it happened, and when it happened, they televised the matches on TV, at least little snippets of it, or at least, yeah, some snippets of it. It was the weirdest thing. It's not football, it's not soccer. People go into these weird pyramid-like formations before they even punt the ball, and I don't understand it. They've also, like, what do you call this? They have to toss the ball a certain way. If they don't, like at the start of a game, if they don't do it right, if they don't do it right, it's like reset, and they reset so many times. But basically, if you ever seen rugby players, their uniform is basically like soccer players. So that means no protection, but they do all the tackles that football does. Very much a full contact sport. And I've heard people's balls get ripped off during those matches. So it's like, I feel like you should at least wear a nut cap. I don't know. You should probably wear at least a nut cap so that doesn't happen. Because it sounds painful. It sounds painful. I mean, I wouldn't want to lose my balls. I don't think anyone wants to lose their balls. Though I think there was someone in baseball this past week. I don't exactly know what happened. Someone in baseball got a ruptured testicle while they were at bat. I'm not sure how that works, to be honest. They did a slow motion of what happened, and I don't exactly know how it resulted in the thing it did. It didn't seem possible. Sports is scary sometimes. Sports is scary sometimes. For guys, wear protection. At least a nut cap. Wear that. Wear that. It's never a good thing if something happens to your nuts. What the heck? You just had to. After I got my points back, you just had to come for more, didn't you? Wow. Wow. Why can't Tankery be real? Oh, you mean the girls and Panzer? I feel like if we had girls and Panzer tanks actually be like reality, it does look fun, but I also keep wondering in the anime, how are they not getting more hurt than they probably should be? Because those are high. I don't know how fast the tanks go. They look like they go pretty fast. The tanks look like they go pretty fast, and the explosives that they use for the tanks, while not like full-powered explosives from what I understand, it's still pretty potent. It'll at least knock the treads off and maybe dent the tanks a little bit. They're protected by the don't worry field. Right, so just because it's anime, sometimes the people making the anime, like, they won't actually get hurt that much. Meanwhile, you watch something like Another, the anime Another, and everyone is made out of paper. The main reason why I couldn't get into that one is because, like, are you seriously? You died from falling over? How? How is that even? It didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. The umbrella deaths, I think that took the cake for me. Though I can kind of understand some of it, but I didn't. A lot of it was like so over the top. So over the top. I mean, let's not even mention the absolute fear on everyone's faces at all times during the anime. Like, I get the situation they're in, but everyone is like so scared shitless. It's like, it's basically stuck on their faces. Literally, one tank was vulnerable to machine gun fire, so how would it survive the cannons? You mean like the actual tanks in the anime that they use can be actually penetrated by machine gun? Yeah, I don't think they use I don't think they use artillery, but then again, they did have the they did have the machine gun turret, so I guess that's kind of the same thing. Can't handle horror, but I remember Another being popular. Another was popular when it ran. I don't do horror anime. I actually haven't watched anime in a long time. I think the most recent anime I've watched recently is Meitante Precure. I've watched Meitante Precure, which is I think the currently running Precure, and oh jeez, I'm gonna have to take a shot. Okay, fine. Got the 4th place. Congratulations. Congratulations on your win. Corpse Party traumatized you. Corpse Party, did they make an anime out of that? I know they made a game. I know it started off as a game, but I don't know if they made an anime out of it. Tell me to start watching Precure. Ruka is pretty good. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you can start at almost any Precure and then they're all gonna be pretty good. Just, I don't know. I remember watching Smile Precure a long time ago. I thought that was still pretty nice. It's definitely more on the kids side than Meitante Precure. Meitante Precure is like young adult-ish. Smile Precure is definitely for kids. Definitely. Maybe Hugto also. That plum wine is still good. It is sweet, not sickeningly sweet, but it tastes like very good plum wine. I wish it was a little bit drier, but then again, I've had this thing for almost a year in the fridge. So it would get sweeter over time. So if it was a choya with the plum fruit in it, it would get sweeter faster. For some reason, that's how it is. The new Precure is legit? Yeah. Let's see. I think I only got to like maybe episode 13, not 13, 14 or 15 on the recent Precure. And I pull it up when I don't have any other streams to put in the background. I do watch VODs of other streamers. Mostly Blue Archive streamers, but also other random streamers. Like, not so random Nimi, not so random Mint. But yeah. Saw someone play the game, but I saw the anime too. Which game? Which game? I didn't know that if there's a Precure game, I didn't know about it, but I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Shouldn't be surprised. We do have room for one more person if anyone wants to drop in. Oh, Corpse Party, yeah. I think Corpse Party started as a RPG Maker game. And then they ported it to a different engine. I didn't realize they made a anime out of it though. Yeah, I didn't realize they made that into an anime. Or maybe I did. Or maybe I did and I just don't remember it. Yeah, I don't mind putting an AI in here, but I would rather like put another person in if you guys want to. Corpse Party, still hate how that guy died. I don't know anything about Corpse Party, so I'm gonna be lost in that one. Precure is that horrible cash grab mobile game. Pay money to get voice alarm type. Oh, I see. I see. I mean, it is Toei. It is Toei, unfortunately. Toei also makes the One Piece anime as well as probably has a hand on a bunch of the One Piece games. And I guess if you've seen one of those, you probably know what kind of... You probably kind of already understand what how they get by. That's all I can say about that one. Imagine making kids pay for that. Here's the thing. I feel like the mobile games, at least, while they are probably targeted towards the kids, I am gonna have to assume there's some not so kid otaku who also play those Precure mobile games, or at least supposed to be for kids, or at least targeted towards kids, but not. I mean, I feel like these days, I guess it depends also on the game. I guess it also depends on the game. But I think I remember seeing a video or someone talking about a thing that happened in a Precure concert where most of the people there were not kids. They were not kids, they were adults, and they were trying, and the people on stage were trying to call for the kids to answer, but there was not that many. It was mostly the otaku who were there, which makes it kind of sad at the same time. I can't tell you which one it is because I don't remember. It was in passing. Yeah, sounds about right? It's fine, I don't remember the names, but a guy told a girl to take a sister and run, and she literally stares at him too afraid to move until the monster gets through them in the door. Before she finally starts running. Yeah, that's kind of what happens in horror anime, or not even just horror anime. Horror media in general. A lot of people are too scared to move, and so they don't. And they get themselves killed or other people killed. Now, part of that might actually be real. Another part of that might also be... what do you call this? For drama. Thanks for the 2000. Have fun with break. Looking forward to the BAJP stream tomorrow. Okay, thanks for dropping by, Bamboo. Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to... what do you call this? do a watch along tomorrow, but we'll see what comes up, and if it's interesting enough, then I'll make something out of it, either a stream or a video. Well, am I gonna get my revenge on edible on this game? I had no idea, but I'm just gonna hope that the Mahjong gods are gonna allow it this time. We'll see. We'll see. It is funny though. It is funny. When I was watching the Precure anime, the Metante Precure one, the most recent one. On one hand, it looks really good. On another hand, the anime itself, if you take away the fact that it's supposed to be made for kids, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. However, and this might just be because, you know, they also gotta sell merch and stuff. Same thing for the Kamen Rider things. It is freaking obvious, at least from an adult's perspective. When they do their transformations, all the stuff that they use for that, also their little gadgets that they use, I can see a kid say, I want that too. And you might be able to find it in shops, and people buy that. Of course, there's also collectors that would do that same thing, but it's definitely there. It's definitely present. It's like, and I can't get that out of my mind. Whenever I watch the transformation sequences, especially, I can't get that out of my mind. I guess also the Kamen Riders are basically like that. All the Kamen Riders starting from the after the Showa period were definitely leaning more towards merchandising than, you know, with the belts and stuff, than the actual show. Then again, I haven't watched any recent Kamen Rider, so I don't know. And the one Kamen Rider I did watch a long time ago, Kamen Rider Black and the Kamen Rider RX. I don't remember enough of them, but they definitely felt a lot more hardcore. But then again, I don't know. I will say though, Decade looks ridiculous. I have no idea what's going on with Decade's armor. I just know that it looks ridiculous, and I feel like a lot of people felt the same way too. Though, I feel like some of the belts are actually pretty cool. Like W's belt, and the... the Den-O? The O one? Which one was that? I don't know. Some of the belts look pretty cool, others look absolutely ridiculous. I can kind of see it. I do kind of want to watch other anime, but I'm mostly waiting for... Oh, I haven't watched the previous Frieren season, but I also hear not a lot really happened in that one. So maybe I'm not missing too much. I am waiting for Dungeon Meshi. We were supposed to get Dungeon Meshi last year. I guess it got pushed off to next year. But Dungeon Meshi, I don't think it's gonna finish next season. The way they're pacing right now, Dungeon Meshi is probably gonna need at least one more season to finish off. And I say that having read the manga. And holy crap, the manga was really good. Actually really good. Especially the end part. I'm not gonna really talk too much about it because I don't remember it anyway. But just the sequence of events and the storytelling there was absolutely a blast. Absolutely a blast. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where season 2 for Dungeon Meshi is going to end. I think it's probably gonna end like right before the final arc, right? I just don't remember where that final arc is. I might have to like reread it. If I can find it. The thing, if you can find it. There's a few anime I wish they would pick up again, but at the same time, is there a reason to pick it up? I don't know. Me personally, I would not mind Hoseki no Kuni, Land of the Lustrous, get a continuation with the anime, because the way the anime ended on that first season definitely felt incomplete. Definitely felt incomplete. But having read the manga, knowing where the story goes at the end, would it make sense to make it into an anime? I have no idea. That's a huge question mark. Remember when it came out, everyone was expecting a sequel to Land of the Lustrous and never got one. Yeah. Studio Orange is weird. I don't know how they operate, but they operate a little bit better than, let's say, Madhouse, who almost never make sequels. Except for Overlord. Actually, no. Did Overlord go to someone else? I feel like Overlord went to someone else. Madhouse did the first season of a lot of animes, but never the second. Never the second. I don't... Does Madhouse even do anything these days? I feel like I hardly hear anything about them. If they do anything, it's probably movies. But not actual TV series. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to think of oh yeah, Studio Orange mostly does 3D stuff. But they did Land of the Lustrous. That was actually pretty good for 3D. I know a lot of people back at that time didn't like 3D because of how stiff it looked. And I'm not sure if it's improved since then. But when they did Beastars, Beastars was pretty good. I think they did Beastars Season 2. I've never gotten around to watching Beastars Season 2. But yeah, I probably should. I haven't even finished the Beastars manga. And I know that one's done. It did, I don't know, what the part of the story I read got somewhat messy. I have no idea what to make of it. But before the, I guess you can call, there's two arcs, basically two arcs in Beastars. The school arc and then the after school arc. I stopped somewhere in the middle of the after school arc, and that's kind of where it got a little bit weird. A little bit weird. I wonder if that author is working on anything else, because I'm kind of curious if they would make anything else. Probably would, right? What I didn't expect was that the author was literally the daughter of the Baki manga artist. Like, seriously? That's funny. I thought that was funny. I think we know what the Baki manga artist is. Ah, frick. Okay, cheap. Cheap. Thank goodness. Cheap end. Got your points back, part of it. You know, we don't have to fight each other, Edible. Delphi is over there. Delphi is over there. Know who the real enemy is. I say that. I say that, but it's everyone for themselves, technically. Let's see. What the heck is up with his hand? This is a mess. This hand is a mess. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to actually control yourself from winning. Like, if you see the win, you may as well go for it, right? Unless you're like trying to win big points, because the big points matter more than any other win. Why did I toss my wind out? Why did I do that? That was stupid. Oh well. It's we're basically halfway through this round, so that's usually when I toss the wins anyway, so I guess it makes sense. I really want a second season. Not second season. We had a second season of Saki. I wanted what do you call this? Another season of Saki. Just give me any other season of Saki. I don't think we'll ever do that. I don't think we'll ever get that. Yet, for some reason, we're getting random remakes of old series. Ghost in the Shell? I didn't expect Ghost in the Shell to get like a new anime. And using the original source, which apparently was extremely different from the Ghost in the Shell than that people knew. What the heck? Okay, not very painful, but still pretty bad. The new Ghost in the Shell is great. Yeah, so I hear. So I hear. Like, cause it's actually the original source anime compared to Standalone Complex, which apparently wasn't. It was more like an original. Standalone Complex was more of an original, and a lot more edgy than the original Ghost in the Shell. Apparently, I did look for the manga, and flipped through a little bit. Couldn't read it, but it's how old is Ghost in the Shell? Is that like from the 80s or something? Because it definitely had an 80s style to it. Because if you tell me it's from the 90s, I guess I could believe that 80s and 90s are pretty close to each other. But yeah, it definitely felt very 80s. And I don't think Masamune Shirow has changed his style much since then. I think he still draws. I think I've seen some art float around, but he hasn't really changed it much. Not a whole lot. Meanwhile, you look at what's the JoJo manga artist's name? That guy. That guy has gone such a shift throughout the years. Now, I'm not a huge fan of his current style. It works in some places, it doesn't work in other places. Like, I think he remade is it Joseph? No, Jonathan. He remade Jonathan in his current style. And I don't know if it's floating around the internet, probably is, but I saw the remake version in the JoJo store in Shibuya? Was it Shibuya? Or Shinjuku? Somewhere around there. There's a JoJo store right next to the Pokemon store in, I think, Shibuya. Either Shibuya or Shinjuku. I still don't remember. And the remade version of Jonathan looks very weird. He's very twinkish. He is very twinkish. But then again, I guess everyone back then when he first made them was more of the broad shoulder style. I guess technically even Jotaro got twinky-ish when part 4 rolled around. Which is very different from what he looked like in part 3. Delphi Supremacy. He is rolling. Delphi is rolling this time. Yeah. Oh yeah, speaking of JoJo, is Steel Ball Run coming out soon? I know they've been hyping up Steel Ball Run for a while, and I think there were some there were some key arts that got released like maybe a few months ago. Is that soon? Is that coming out soon? Like maybe this month? Next month? Because I haven't seen anyone talk about it since. I just saw the fat, funny Valentine, and I didn't realize that he was actually supposed to be fat initially. And then he apparently isn't very shortly afterwards. Like, wait, why? Who is this guy? It's coming out soonish. All right. Yeah, we're gonna be getting some JoJo talks apparently in the near future. That's only on Netflix, right? That's not on the networks. But wait, if they're gonna put it out on Netflix, are they gonna release all of it at once, or are they gonna release week by week? I don't. How do the Netflix releases work? Actually, now that I think about it, Yami Neko, is that on Netflix or is that on TV? I've been watching a little bit of Yami Neko. It's disgusting. it's definitely disgusting for a good reason, but I can't imagine that was a TV show. Like Netflix, sure, but TV? Oh, it's episodic this time? Okay, so they're not gonna release everything at once. Okay, all right. Because it's kind of like it depends, I guess. What I don't like is that Netflix randomly, or maybe not so randomly, cancel series after the first one, even if it's like successful, so to say. And I don't know how to decide that. Because like something would have like a really like something really well received or has a high fan following, and then suddenly, nope, we no second season, sorry. Meanwhile, something else probably will get another season, even though it doesn't seem as good. Man. I don't know. I might watch Steel Ball Run, but I feel like I should binge it instead. Binging it would probably be better. Oh wow! I think that's the first time I've seen everyone be in Tenpai at the end. Interesting. Interesting. All 4 in Tenpai, yeah. It's usually like maybe 1, 2, sometimes 3, but not all 4. I feel like if all 4 are in Tenpai, that should be its own Yaku. that should be its own Yaku. Like, okay, have you guys heard about this Yaku? All terminal discard. If you discard only terminals and no one claims any of that up to the end of the game, and no one wins up to the end of the game, you get a Mongon. I've done that before. I've done that before. Multiple times even. I feel like if all 4 are in Tenpai, well, then again, I guess it makes sense it's not a Yaku, because where would the points come from? Where would the points go? So maybe, yeah, okay, that would not be a Yaku. that would not make sense to make into a Yaku. And alright, had to get some water. I had 1 drink earlier, I'm not feeling it. Usually after 1 drink, I feel a little buzzed, but not this time. But at the same time, I don't drink unless I get into 4th place. So, that bottle is gonna be there for a while. That bottle, I think, was about halfway through when I looked at it earlier. And so it's a 750 ml bottle, so maybe about 300 something. I'm not quite sure how big my shot glass is. I'm gonna assume it's at least 1 ounce. So 1 ounce being about 30 ml. So maybe about 9 plus shots left. It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while. Or it could be really quickly. It depends on how many times I lose in a night. At least it's not the sake I've had. Holy crap, that sake was strong. What the heck? The silent win. Oh, jeez. This could be bad. Never mind, I got into 4th place. That just means I have to get another shot. Alright then. Alright, thanks for playing Edible and also Delphi. Thanks. Not thanks. Congrats on your 1st place win. Not lucky today? Yes, Fail. Not so lucky today. 4th place twice. GG, speaking of drinking, yeah. 2nd shot. 2nd shot. Lower accurate auto. Okay, before you guys came in. So I was drinking the shot. Before you guys came in, I went into ranked earlier and got 1st place. So you win some, you lose some. You win some, you lose some. No one else coming in today? No one else? Let me refresh the link for anyone who might want to a shortcut there. But yeah, I'll yap a little bit more. Yap a little bit more. Anything? Oh yeah, there is a convention apparently happening this weekend. I was reminded about it by all the Twitter posts on my timeline. Offkai, where the heck is Offkai even? I don't know anything about Offkai. I just know Offkai now, these days, is probably known for all the meet and greets the big VTubers do. I don't know what it was known for before then. And I don't know why Offkai became a thing, actually. Like, why did Offkai become a thing? I know why Anime Expo is a thing. That's like the biggest one. And then there's some other ones that are maybe not quite as famous, but definitely more kind of well known. Oh, Offkai's his 4th year? Oh wait, hold up. Did Offkai happen because of COVID? Is that what it was? Offkai, if you say this is Offkai's 4th year, is it because of COVID? When COVID happened, not a lot of people were like doing cons and stuff, and so they made an offline. No, that wouldn't make sense. That wouldn't make sense. It would have been an online conventions. It was VTubers. VTubers got huge. I think that's the main reason why. It's the main reason why. Okay. Jeez. We still got 40 minutes into the stream before I decide to close it. But, I guess if no one's coming into the room, I'm gonna do ranks and I'll just keep yapping. And so just let me know if you guys want to go another round. We'll do that then. Okay, well, you're gonna see how good or bad I usually play. Wood by Got a Jet? That's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. East only. Yeah. Yeah, so I was packing my stuff for the trip next week, and I actually packed most of it, like, last weekend. This is always a thing. I don't know what kind of packer you are if you go on a trip and stuff, but I tend to pack earlier than expected. I'm not a last minute packer. I try not to, because if I do that, I know I'm probably gonna forget something. So typically I pack maybe a week or two before I have to go. Like, I just get the luggage and toss everything in there. Not necessarily like pack it, but I do that anyway. And the next few days, I decide, do I want to actually like put everything in packet right now? And when I decide I do, it's more or less packed unless something else happens. Hey Poviv, well, thanks for the bits. Thank you. Convoy Jiggy. That's an interesting one. But yeah. Better safe than sorry. Yeah, I mean, packing is like half of it. But then again, there's also some things you can't really pack early, like let's say your toothbrush and stuff like that. So, I mean, I guess you can technically, so you could. But for the most part, I don't. That's like the very last thing I pack. Because I usually only like have one toothbrush out at one time. I don't like open another toothbrush. I don't know, I just don't feel like doing that. Just buy them again. I've tried the toothbrushes in Japan. I do not like them. or at least the one that I tried, I did not like it. The one I tried was way too soft. And it doesn't have the same contouring as the American toothbrushes, like the Oral-B toothbrushes. It doesn't have the same contouring as that. I like those a lot better than whatever the heck flat, soft bristled toothbrush I got over there. Like I said, it might not be most of them or even all of them, like the way they're made. But that's the one I had. Was it last time? One of the times. And I did not like it. It was too soft. It was too soft, it didn't get you into the crevices, and I don't know what the heck the point of that was. And I've also tried the Japanese toothpaste. The Japanese toothpaste, sometimes they provide to you in, like, say, a... not necessarily Airbnb, but, you know, there's some home, like locally owned places that they rent out. And sometimes they'll provide you those toothpaste and stuff. And it's alright. It's alright. It's not great, but it's not... I wouldn't pick it if I had a choice. What's different about American toothbrushes and the Japanese one? Mostly the hardness. Also, I think also the shape. I'm thinking also the shape. Like, I feel like the Japanese toothbrushes' shapes are more blocky, but the American toothbrushes, depending on which brand it is, are a little bit more contoured to actually get around the teeth and edges and like crevices. I don't think I've seen this Akagi before. Is this an alternate costume? Because that is a weird Akagi costume. That's not what I expected. I expected a suit, or at least a very plain shirt. Oh, I do have Washizu. I should probably use him. But no, I like Aru better. I like Aru better. So. No. But nah, I mean, if I had to, because the one I had broke or stuff, then I would get their toiletries over there, but I try not to. It's not my favorite. I do like their detergents for the wash though. I don't know, they smell kind of nice. American laundry detergents don't have such a strong smell for the most part. Like, even if it's scented, I feel like it's not that strong of a smell, but the scents in Japan for their laundry detergents are fairly strong for whatever reason. Fairly strong. It's an outfit from the first collab? Ah, I see. Yeah, I know they had a rerun on the Akagi and Washizu skins recently. I say recently, that was last month. That was last month. And I rolled for both of them. And I got them pretty quick. So, yay. Yay. I just hope we get, I don't know. I want more sake. Blue Archive would be nice, but you know, CN had to ruin it. Can you show it later? Yeah, after this game. I can't do it right now. But yeah, CN had to ruin the collab, so no more Blue Archives, I suppose, in the future. Otherwise, I would like to see more students in the game. Like, I feel, who would actually be good? Oh, I was thinking maybe Koyuki. Koyuki in the game would be funny, considering she's usually pretty bad at gambling.
No.
But imagine, just imagine. Or Yuka too. Just anyone else, you know? Or just send 3 or 4 more students in here. We got Hoshino, Mutsuki, and Aru. No. Yeah. Hoshino, Mutsuki, Aru, and Shiroko for the first one. So two from Problem Solver and 2 from Abydos. If they wanted to do another 2 from Abydos and another 2 from Problem Solver, they could have. They could have. Or if they wanted to do another group, they could have too. Lots of different options, but CN ruins everything. CN ruins everything with their perceived notions of NTR, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Because if they're so worried about NTR, would they not technically be NTRing each other by having multiple people play the same game? I don't know. That's the thought that went through my mind. That's the thought that went through my mind. And I'm like, it's definitely weird. Like, I know there was something CN again. Love in Deep Space. I know Love in Deep Space was supposed to have but a new character added on top of the initial cast of characters. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't play it, but good for them. Good for the Yumijoshis who liked that game. But for some reason, there were a very vocal group of people who, for some reason, did not want a new husbando in their husbando game. And I don't know the whole story. And I'm too scared to find out. Too scared to find out. But they were so against it for whatever reason. Like, really? You don't want a new husbando to fawn over? What is wrong with you? What is actually wrong with you? I mean, why not? Why not? But yeah, there's some rabbit holes you don't want to dig into. And there's some rabbit holes that you never would have thought to dig into, but once you dig into it, it's either a pleasant surprise or it's the most unhinged thing ever. I'm guessing they do quality instead of quantity, maybe? It depends. It depends, I guess. Like, there's definitely some games where the cast you have at the beginning of the game is the only cast you will ever have for your main team or party or whatever. For example, Limbus Company, you have the 12 sinners, the 12 characters that you control in the game, and they're the only ones, basically, that you have the entire game. But to make up for that, you have different versions of each one. And there's another Otome games especially, or at least Otome type mobile games. I tried one before. That was somewhat interesting. Gameplay was meh. Had 4 characters, 4 love interests, and they also had different outfits and stuff that you can roll for. I don't know how many Love and Deep Space have, but whatever they started with, that's all they had, basically. But adding a new one, for some reason, was just so controversial for some people, and it's like, okay, I don't understand you. I don't understand you. Why would you not want them? So, I think I may have heard the reason, but it still didn't make sense to me, so it didn't register. But yeah. By the way, we were talking about HoloDori earlier. How many people here are playing HoloDori? The HoloLive rhythm game. A lot of people seem to be having fun with it. I am probably not gonna do it. I don't think I want to add another game just yet to my list. But it does look pretty good if you're into rhythm games. Me personally, I was hoping we would get Gakuen Idolmaster, because I think the Idolmaster people made an English Twitter account, and I was hoping that means we were gonna get some ports to global, but I haven't heard any news about it yet. So it's been nice. Yeah, I mean, I guess if it follows the same flow as other rhythm games, the what do you call it? The energy cost and the number of times you would play, probably fairly limited each day, right? Probably fairly limited. So is there anything to do besides roaming around and, excuse me, roaming around and playing the story and music? Because I thought it was kind of weird that they had a overworld, but I guess the overworld is there so that you can look at the Chibis, which is fine. I was just curious if there was anything else they do. Mini games like jump rope. Okay, so there's like the little mini games with the Chibis too. Okay, you know what? That's okay. I was just curious. I do kind of want to see what non-HoloLive fans thought about it. Because, yes, I understand it's for HoloLive fans, but also there are like HoloLive fan games that made its way into non-HoloLive people, and they seem to enjoy it quite a bit. Like, remember the fighting game? I forgot what that was called. But there was a HoloLive fighting game. It made it to the fighting game community, and for at least a short time, they seemed to actually like it. A little bit confused about all the stuff in the game, but they seem to like it nonetheless. And then more famously, there is HoloCure, which is the Vampire Survivor-like game that is fairly popular for everyone, because it's basically Vampire Survivor, but free, and also really, really well made for being free. So even if you didn't know anything about HoloLive, you could just play it as Vampire Survivor and experiment with all the builds and stuff. HoloLive fighting game, yeah. There's a free fighting game. I think it's called Idol Showdown. There's a free HoloLive fighting game called Idol Showdown that you can try. It's basically the same. It's basically like a regular fighting game, but they also have like a roguelike mode. And I think that's what most people have been playing, the roguelike mode. It's a third PC version. It is PC only. Same thing for HoloCure. It is PC only. You can find both on Steam. Yeah, I think if you just type in a HoloLive, you'll probably find a bunch of HoloLive stuff. So, but there's also a bunch of paid HoloLive games. Some are worth paying for, I feel like, and then there's others that are not worth paying for. Which is kind of funny, because the free ones, at least the ones I mentioned, are pretty high quality already. The other ones are like, I don't think I've seen one that I was too interested in. I have played a little bit of the Plants vs. Zombie like game, and it was alright. It was alright. It's a little slow pace for me. But I guess Plants vs. Zombie is also kind of slow paced anyway. Yeah. I did also play a couple of Hololive fan games on stream. If you haven't seen those before, there's the Chrono Arc one, which is, I guess, more Mega Man platformer with Crony. And then there's NuiNuiQuest, which is also Mega Man type, but with Flare from HoloJP. Both are pretty good. Both are pretty good, but the Chrono Arc one was... No, is it Chrono Arc? I'm getting my games mixed up because there's a lot of Chrono games. There's Chrono Trigger. There's Chrono Trigger. There's Chrono Arc, which is probably not the Hololive one. Let me double check. No, Chrono Arc is not the Hololive one. Chrono Arc is the card game one, the part of the RPG card game one, which is also really good. Also really good. Like if you're tired of roguelikes, Chrono Arc is a really good roguelike party builder that has so many mechanics in it that doesn't really feel like a roguelike. It feels like an actual RPG. But you still have like the cards and stuff. But it still plays very differently. Would recommend that one. I'm trying to remember what the other game was. It has Chrono in the name, which is why Chrono Gear. There we go, Chrono Gear. Chrono Gear is a Hololive one with Crony in it. That one is more story driven compared to all the other ones. But no, there's a bunch of different fan games. Like I said, some free, some paid. A lot paid more these days than free. But I feel like the free ones are still leagues better than some of the free ones anyway. Chrono Name is popular. Chrono Name is popular. I mean, it depends on the game, right? But if you have Chrono in the name of a game, usually has something to do with time. Usually. I don't think there's a Chrono game I've run into that doesn't have time-related stuff in it. Like Chrono Trigger is about time travel. Chrono Gear is because Crony is the Warden of Time, right? So there's that. Chrono Arc has some time-related stuff in it also. So yeah, there's title names are important. Hopefully they're not too random. I hope not. I have taken 2 shots of the plum wine and I still am not feeling it. What is going on today? Did I just eat too much? I feel like maybe I ate too much today. I had pasta today, as well as some noodles, other noodles besides pasta, and soup and rice, and oatmeal with milk. I'm getting fat, probably. Probably, I don't know. I can't tell you one way or another if I actually am getting fat. But I have been trying to maintain. Is it maintain? I've been trying to improve my health in general. Okay, well, 3rd place. That's kind of where I expected. I'm gonna get kicked out of Adept. Do I jog? No, I don't jog. No, I don't jog. Before I start one, does anyone want to do another set of friendly matches? I can do one more set of friendly matches, or I do like one more ranked. Either one. Either one. But yeah, we'll give it a few minutes before I move to one thing or another. I do not jog but I do like Ring Fit, and Ring Fit's a pretty decent workout. Yeah, it doesn't seem like enough people. That's what I was thinking. People got stuff to do today. Can join friendly if there are others. Okay, so we have 2. We got 2. Alright. We'll do one more. We'll do one more. Got this one. Don't play Mahjong? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The Mahjong is basically my way of trying to get... trying to interact with people in chat, because I know I don't do that a whole lot in normal streams. It's just that, you know, this is what I can do. I guess I'll change my character for this one. We'll use Washizu for this one, because why not? And then we'll add AI for the 4th. There we go. It's gonna be weird using Washizu. I'm not used to seeing this guy. I like Aru better, but Washizu has better emos than Nakagi. Yes. Look at him. Look at him. He's so evil. He's so evil. He's just an evil old man, basically. I'll use the emotes later if I can find the time to do so. Alright. But yeah. I'm trying to think of what to talk about. I'm trying to think of what to talk about. I cannot think because I don't know what to talk about. Oh jeez. How do people yap so much, actually? How do people yap so much, especially the girls? I feel like the girls, whenever I see like female streamers, VTuber or not, they always have something to yap about. I'm assuming it's because they actually talk to people. That's one. That's one. The other is also probably that, other than that they talk to people, is that they're always doing something. And, you know, the interactions bring some stories in. But even if they don't talk about the other people they interact with, it's like, there's always something. There is always something, and I do not understand. Like, there's definitely some people who are known to yap for 3 to 4 hours. And like, how do you have so much to talk about for 3 to 4 hours, multiple times each week? I do not understand. Is that a guy thing? Is that just a me thing? I don't know. I don't know what it is. Then again, I guess in real life, I don't really speak that much. So I can kind of see why I wouldn't have so much to talk about. So, time to log what they talk about. Am I the talker type? Not really, no. I'm the listener type. So, which you know, being the listener type and a streamer doesn't really work too well, right? Doesn't really work too well. But here am I trying to be a streamer because I find this fun. I do enjoy doing this. And if it wasn't for streaming, I would probably go crazy in my room because I have no one else to talk to. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. I'm willing to admit that. I'm willing to admit that. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I try to figure out what the heck am I doing with this streaming thing? What do I want to do with this streaming thing? I just basically just want to chill with it. I guess I want to also do some stuff that people enjoy, but I don't need, but I want to do stuff also more than just the gacha games, though I feel like as much as I like Blue Archive, this has mostly become a Blue Archive channel. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I do like it, but I feel like I need to expand a little bit. Do a dev stream? The thing is, I haven't like planned out anything yet to do a dev stream. What I do kind of want to do, and probably I can do, just to give myself a little more practice, is art streams. I can do an art stream. I am not an artist, but I do like drawing, so I hope that counts for something. And whenever I do draw, I don't think I draw too badly. I just, you know, just don't expect like don't expect like super polished art is all I'm saying. Don't expect super polished art, because you're not gonna get that from me. I do feel like sometimes maybe I should have focused on art a long time ago, because I do like doing that. And I look at the stuff I drew over 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago now. And 15 years ago, while not super serious with art, I was more into like doing art fundamentals and stuff. So I did like poses, I looked at proportions and such. So if I kept up with it, I probably would be much better now than I was 10, 15 years ago. But I didn't. Holy crap, this guy's so evil. $8,000? I'll take the 8,000. Just like seeing art? I'll think about doing art stream. What kind of art style? I don't know if there's a name to my art style. I just kind of draw what I draw. Though these days it leans more towards chibi-ish, but not really chibi. Not really chibi. The one thing I will say about whenever I draw is I can't draw anything below the chest or even below the waist. I never practice legs. I never practice feet. I'm absolutely horrible at hands. So I need to maybe do that some more. No, hands confuse me. I can probably like do simple hands. And I kind of know that like the proportions of like face to arms to body ratio, that kind of stuff. I kind of know that. But the thing is, the different styles will have different proportions. But if you go strictly by the formula, it's gonna look really stiff, and I don't really like doing that to myself. So I try to you know, I just try to draw what I can with what I know. Lots of references, by the way. You have to use a lot of references when you draw. If you don't use references, things can go awry really quickly. Even professionals will use references. Maybe not as much as some others, but even professionals will do that. So. But yeah, I don't think I can call myself an artist. I just like to draw. But I'll think about doing an art stream at one point. And then maybe eventually a dev stream, but I don't think a dev stream is going to be something I do eventually. Because I don't want to keep my secrets. If I do a dev stream, my secrets will be leaked out. No. I don't want to do that. How can people art so... How do artists, like really good artists, be real? They study a lot. the art people that you see that are like super good have studied other people and other styles quite a bit. And so they experiment, and so they try things, and that's how they're good. That's all there is to it. You keep doing it over and over again. And then you get so good that maybe you get contracted by someone to do art. But that's a long process. That's a long process. So don't ask me when I'm gonna do an art stream. I'll do it when I feel like it. So it'll happen when I'm brave enough to. Me, when I look at a 10-hour piece and wonder why I can't replicate it in 10 minutes. Yeah, so here's the other thing with people's art sometimes. I like to finish things in the same day or sitting, because I feel like if I leave it for another time, I'm gonna forget what I was trying to do with a piece or with just the sketch, right? But I don't understand how people can, with art especially, how people can take several days on a particular art. I guess you do the sketch one day and do the coloring next, and then do all the other details later. I can kind of see that. But when you hear people take days to do one art piece, I don't know. I feel like I'd forget what I was trying to do. So props to the people who can do that. Try to draw in half an hour, feels like my peak, it only stagnates after. I feel like it also shouldn't be rushed. But at the same time, you can, some people try to do like 10-minute challenges, 1-hour challenges, or just do one drawing per day. I should probably try doing that when I get back. But right now, most of my energy has been going into learning Japanese while translating all the webcomics. That's the reason why I'm doing the webcomics, is so that I can also learn Japanese at the same time. Try to get used to that a little bit more. Because there's only so much I can do by going through like lessons and stuff. I need some other practice. Listening practice, I do that a lot by like listening to anime. But not a whole lot of reading practice. That's what I'm trying to do. When am I gonna come back? After the 18th. It should be on the announcement if you haven't seen it yet. Oh, frick. Don't hurt me too much. 580! That's painful. That's painful. Imagine dropping. Imagine dropping in rank. Yeah, but just because I'm coming back after the 18th doesn't mean I'll be streaming right away. No, there's a little recovery period. There is a recovery period. Especially if you go overseas. Like, jet lag hits different people different ways. From the US to Japan, I don't really get jet lag per se. Like, maybe I'm a little bit sluggish for a few days, but I get into it pretty quickly. But coming back, that's when the jet lag hits. Because I would probably be asleep in the middle of the day when it's nighttime over there. Though you would probably think if it's the middle of the day over there and it's nighttime here, I would be sleeping. But no, because I'm over there, I'm walking around everywhere. And because I'm walking around everywhere, I don't really feel like sleeping. The adrenaline is pumping. The the workout, as in walking, is keeping me awake and not like and helping me not fall asleep. When I come back though, I don't really have that. And so I fall asleep a lot easier, and then it takes me a week or two or more to get back into a somewhat reasonable sleeping schedule. So yeah. What games do you play other than BA? Limbus Company, because I also stream Limbus Company. But other gacha games other than BA and Limbus Company? Not really? No. When Astra Ratio comes in, I'll be playing Astra Ratio. When Project RX comes in, I'll also be playing Project RX, for sure. Will I stick with them? We'll see how good the story and gameplay is. And there's also the dailies. I did at one point also play Trickal on the side, maybe streamed it once, but didn't continue streaming it. But Trickal's dailies are so tedious. The Trickal dailies are so tedious, I just kind of dropped it. I enjoy the Chibis. I enjoy bonking and pinching the Chibis, but I no longer play it because it's so tedious. Also, the gameplay is really not that great. But then again, it's a very simple gameplay, so what do you play it for? The Chibis. You could probably also play it for the story. I do feel like the story in Trickal is very simple. And I couldn't quite get into it. Couldn't quite get into that one. I don't play it anymore, but I used to play Reverse 1999. Like a long time ago. That was actually pretty fun. And then when I came back much later, let's say maybe a couple of months ago, they added so much stuff in it, I just got overwhelmed and didn't play it again. Whoop, hold on, we're in the wrong place. Played Reverse 1999 too. I like the vibe of Reverse 1999. I like the vibe. The story's confusing. I like the character designs. And I like the voice acting. I know some people say Japanese voice acting is always the best, and for that one I have to disagree. But then again, the original voice acting was always in English, so weird in that case, right? It's weird in that case because English was it's a Chinese game that had English as its primary voice acting language. So that's kind of funny. Is it a vague story? And I don't know if it's... I wouldn't call it vague, but it's confusing. The events are a little confusing. No, the game is not set in London. It's set all around the world. It's set all around the world. And then the events are like long. They're basically 2 to 3 movie lengths long. They feel like a movie also, which is kind of neat. But at the same time, it's like, holy crap. If you want to start farming the events right away, you have to sit through... Yeah, you have to sit through 7 to 9 hours worth of story to even start farming. At least with Girls Frontline 2, when I did play that, the farming stages were separate from the story stages. So if you wanted to farm, you could do that right away. But with Reverse 1999, you have to go through the story first to farm. So it's a bit of a long process with that one. And I do feel like the events in that game felt a little long, but I guess it's the Hoyo event length, like 21 days. So, but it did feel a little long for me. And during that 21 days, different game modes would unlock, and I was okay with that for a little while. But I don't know. How about the grinding? It's not too grindy. It's actually not too grindy. You still wanna like level up your main team and teams and comps and whatnot, but it's not grindy. I wouldn't say so. But yeah, Reverse 1999 was pretty good. It's just there's just too much to keep up with in the game now. Too many game modes. And because of that, it's like, okay, maybe this isn't for me anymore. I like my game to be a little bit more simple, but not super boring. I did play Celasora when it came out. Oh wow, barely first place. Wow. All right, thanks everyone for playing today. Thank you. I'm gonna keep yapping though. Yeah, MVPs for tonight were Delphi and Edible. I think 070 got bullied a little bit, but yeah. Thanks for playing, guys. Thanks for playing. I will keep yapping for a little bit though. What was I saying? What was I singing? I was talking about Reverse 1999. Oh yeah, I also played Stellasora a little bit when it first came out, and I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed the story, and I enjoyed the gameplay. But the thing about Stellasora that annoyed me a little bit wasn't the game itself, actually. It was the other people bad-mouthing the game. I get it. The roguelike mode probably isn't the best roguelike mode. But then again, I didn't want to have to mess with that, like, too much. Though I suppose a roguelike mode in Stellasora... I don't know, it didn't feel... I didn't know what else they could do with it, and I think they're still struggling to figure out what they want to do with it. So, yeah. Would I go back to Stellasora again? I'm not sure. Probably not at this point. But I do, like, keep tabs on it anyway. Enfield... with Enfield, I got to Wuling, did as much as Wuling during that first not patch, that first release of the game, set up everything, and forgot about it. Part of it was because at the time I was trying to actually make my own game. I got distracted by Enfield. Like, if I was casual about Enfield, and I feel like I could be casual about Enfield, I wouldn't mind keeping going with it, but I was also dealing with Blue Archive, I was dealing with, I think, yeah, Limbus Company, as well as other stuff, as well as trying to make my own game at the time, that it felt overwhelming, so I had to cut something. So I had to cut Enfield. I just played Enfield for as long as I did, because I needed to get the factory making bug out of me. The factory, simple as it was still fairly addicting, especially with optimizing. Now I get it. A lot of people did have like blueprints of like super optimized factories and whatnot, and you could copy that if you didn't want to think too much about it. But the thing about the factory is, part of the fun, at least for me, is to make my own solutions to my production stuff. I don't want to copy someone else's blueprint. I want to make my own blueprint. Now, I'll probably like copy some ideas from someone else's blueprint, but I want to make that myself. I'm not going to copy it and put it down. So the problem with me a lot of times is I want to do a lot of things myself rather than outright copy someone else. Will I outright copy someone else if I feel like it? Yes. I'm not above that. But for the most part, I like doing things myself. But no, there was just a lot of things to do in Enfield. I think there were also some story stuff, character story stuff there that I didn't realize was happening. So I kind of missed that. The last banner I did was the... What was that banner? I got Levitine. I guess her name was Searcher in the other game. So I did that one. But past that, I didn't really play it. ZZZ, never touched ZZZ. I did Star Rail when it came out before, and I thought it was pretty fun. I don't know what the state of Star Rail is these days, but don't think I'm gonna touch that. ZZZ, no, I'm not touching ZZZ. I enjoy the Angels of Delusion. I enjoy the fan art of Angels of Delusions, but I am not touching the game. So, factories were nice, but the resources felt limited and the gun turrets were kind of disappointing to me. The gun turrets, I think, were mainly for their tower defense mode, right? And I felt like the tower defense minigame in Enfield, it was alright, but I didn't really feel it. It just kind of felt like an extra thing that you had to do for resources, and I don't know if those resources were even worth it. So, meh. What I didn't like with Enfield, apart from all the other stuff, was that I had to like the skip tickets for the dailies. The skip tickets for the dailies, you didn't always have them. Actually, there's no skip ticket. There's like multiple what do you call this? Multiple stamina use, so that you can get rid of stamina. I didn't like that you had to like earn those through daily, not like logins or other things. I didn't like that so much. Like, why is that not a why is that not standard? Why do I have to get tickets just to be able to use run the same thing multiple times at once? I did not like that. That was a little annoying. So, how's the grind in Enfield? Grindy. I mean, if you're like what do you call this? Making more than one team is pretty grindy, but if you've been sticking with it from the beginning, you probably have leveled up almost everyone by now. Probably. I don't know. But it is kind of grindy. What else? For the most part, I just kind of like I kind of, not a gacha game. I do play like incremental games off like for the most part I play incremental games like Cookie Clicker's an incremental game, but I don't play Cookie Clicker. I play other random ones that most people have never even heard about. And those are my usual stuff. Those are my usual gaming stuff because it keeps me occupied. But it's not like, I guess it's kind of grindy, but then again, that's the nature of it. It's slow. It's a slow grind though. Think you get to level 90 too fast? I was surprised that they allow you to get to level 90 before, or I guess when you get to the second area. Like, really? I would have thought you would probably want to cap people's levels to like 30, 40, maybe even 50. Up to that point. Not get all the way to 90. That seemed really quick. But then again, the levels really don't matter too much in Enfield. I mean, they kind of do. But the main thing in Enfield is the equipment and the factory, right? The factory for the parts you need for equipment as well as medicine, but also mainly the equipment. I did say equipment twice, but yeah, the equipment is what mainly determines your stats and builds, not necessarily your level. So what the heck is level 4 at the end of the day in Enfield? I don't know. I guess it's a scaling thing. But the equipment is much more important than the level. But then again, you need to be at a certain level to unlock parts of the skill tree, the upgrade system, and equip certain equipment, armor, weapons, that kind of thing. So maybe that's what level is for. But I think you just need to be at level 70 to get the equipment part. But I think 90 for the upgrades. I'm not exactly sure. It's been a while. It's been a while. But yeah, as far as level though goes, it's not too important in a fight, but it is important for equipment. About the story, the story's all right. The story's all right. It feels, I wouldn't say it's run of the mill, but it's what's the best way to describe the story in Enfield? I wasn't a huge fan of the story in the first Arknights, especially the beginning portion, because that was what the heck was going on there. But I guess also what the heck was going on at the beginning of Girls Frontline, the original one. It only got better later. I feel like the story in the first parts of any game is gonna be a little bit more generic, but I feel like when I played Stella Sora, the beginning story there, at least to me, was better than the beginning story in Arknights. That's a personal thing. You might think different depending on what kind of story you like. For me, as far as Blue Archive goes, let's say compare that to the first part of Enfield. I think I kind of personally like the story of Blue Archive more than I like the story of Enfield. I also liked it a little bit more than the story of Stella Sora. But does that mean it's bad or good? Not necessarily, though anything's better than the Arknights first part story, like the original one. Anything's better than that one. And the first part of Girls Frontline. And the first part of that. I don't know, I feel like I like those kind of stories more than the strife and struggle of what's happening there. I guess for me, having also played Limbus Company and still playing it, I prefer the story of the first part of Blue Archive, Volume 1 of Blue Archive, compared to the first 3 Kantos chapters of Limbus Company. Though I have to say, after Kanto 3 in Limbus Company, no, starting from Kanto 3, it does pick up. It does pick up. It's just a journey, maybe even a little bit of a slog, to get to the main point of each Kanto, and then the climax of it. They have been getting better since. It just keeps getting better. And I'm still very much anticipating Kanto 10 whenever we get it. Not gonna be next month anymore because it's getting pushed. But the storytelling in Limbus Company is lengthy. It is pretty lengthy. There is definitely some comedy bits to lighten up the mood a little bit, but it is lengthy. And I don't know if that's just a writing style or what, but I'm not a huge fan of super lengthy and drawling sometimes writing. Blue Archive doesn't always do that. It's very lighthearted, right? And pretty to the point. Trickal is also very lighthearted and to the point. I just didn't care for the story too much. There's that. Stella Sora, actually fairly lighthearted too, and fairly to the point. It does have a different flavor of story compared to like all the other ones we talked about. Do I like it? I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting, but I probably won't go back to it because of different issues not related to the story. So, as long as the story is not confusing, it really depends. I think the most confusing story of any gacha I've played so far would have to go to Reverse 1999. not that it's like too difficult to follow, but there's definitely some things there like, okay, how did we get here again? I forgot. I forgot. Also, do these events have anything? Do these events have anything related to the main story? I feel like a lot of them don't, and that's okay. And that's okay. It's just that they feel so disconnected to the main story sometimes. Maybe eventually they do the events run over into the main story in Reverse 1999, but it didn't feel like that was the case for the most part. What is Reverse 1999 about? Reverse 1999 is about the storm which is rewinding time backwards from 1999, hence Reverse 1999. And anyone caught in the storm will disappear from the world permanently. Unless you get into like safe zones and whatnot. And people don't know what caused the storm, so the people are trying to figure out what the heck is the storm so they can stop it. I don't know where the story is right now, but we weren't anywhere close to figuring that out before I left, which was I think chapter 6 or chapter 7. And chapter 6 I think was the Greek people. And holy crap, the Greek people are a weird bunch. Let's just say that. But if you're ever interested in playing that game, it's a good game. It is actually a good game. It's just there's too much stuff to do, so I haven't played it. So, but I do recommend it for anyone who's curious about it. What else? What else was I? I don't know. I could probably go on and on and on about different gacha games I played and their stories, but at the end of the day, what kind of game do you prefer? What story do you like to prefer? Me personally, I just don't want to mess with the Hoyo stuff because they do feel kind of generic a lot of times, and for some people felt generic at the beginning. For me, story-wise, the only complaint story-wise, I mean, it was alright. It dragged a little bit at the beginning. My huge complaint is when they got to Wuling. The second area was like, holy crap, we are glazing the Chinese so much. I get it, second area is always Chinese in Chinese games, but still, we are glazing them so much. We literally spent the entire first half of that area talking about the city and everything that happened in the city. I feel like we didn't do anything of the sort of the situations that happened in the first area. Basically, we were just solving problems after problems in the first area, but we were glazing the heck out of the Chinese in the second area. I say Chinese, but the Chinese equivalent of China in that area. Deserved? Possibly. But holy crap, they just went on and on and on and on and on about it. And I was like, okay, I get it. Can we just move on to the actual main bit of the story? And I feel like we just didn't get there. The problem was there. The problems they face in the story were there, and we did deal with it before we had to stop because the rest of it wasn't up yet. I think Wuling Part 2 came out recently. I don't know anything about it. But yeah, I don't know. For the most part, I'm just waiting for Astra Horatio and I'm waiting for Project RX because those seem more like my vibe. Those seem more like my vibe than anything. Nothing against the people that like the other games. It's just my vibe is over there. That's it. That is it. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant, guys. Thanks for listening to my rant. What genre is Reverse 1999? RPG. It kind of has a card system of FGO, but a much better version of the FGO card system. It's a little bit of a mix and match and a little bit of energy management, but it is a whole lot better than FGO. Like I kind of took that idea and then did the mix and match thing and then energy management. Just give it a try if you're curious about it. Just give it a try. I think the game's pretty heavy on the phone though. It is available on PC, so you can check that out on PC. I think it's actually on Steam. I do think it's on Steam. Anyway, I'm gonna end here for today, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to my rant and everything else. I will have the schedule for next week out this weekend. I may or may not be awake for the Blue Archive Fest reveal in the morning. Probably won't be. I'll probably see everything on Twitter and then decide what I want to do about that. But next week, since I'm leaving next Saturday next week, we will have our usual Blue Archive stream. I'm deciding if I want to do a story stream or something else for it. We'll have a random game on Monday. And then I don't know if I'll stream on the night before I have to leave. That's probably going to be like an open thing on the schedule. And if I do stream it, it's probably going to be something that's going to keep me up until I have to leave to go to the airport kind of thing. Like I've been doing most of the other times. It's a 6 a.m. flight, guys. It's a 6 a.m. flight. So I have to stay up all night. I'll probably take like an afternoon nap or something and then figure out how to keep myself up so I don't miss my flight kind of thing. Lots of things I have to take care of around the house before then though. Gotta clean up a little bit and stuff. Alright. I'll see you guys later. Have a good rest of your day. Bye bye everyone. See you when I see you later.